What's going on, Watt family and legendary dashers? If you're tired of burning gas and you want your dashers to be faster and more fun, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to be breaking down the ultimate e-bike setup for dashers, and we're going to go over some safety gears to keep you safe while you're out there dashing. So let's start with the setup. Now, all my bikes, if you watch this channel, you're going to see a very similar theme and a lot of the same equipment that I use, or I'm going to be presenting on this video, you're going to see on other bikes. Now, let's start in the front. Tires. I talked about tires, people. If you're going to be dashing or commuting on a regular basis, most e-bikes most of the tires that come stocked in e-bikes are not that great. In fact, I say they're horrible. So getting a good pair of motorcycle style, if you can, tires will be best. They need to be anti-puncture resistant, so you can avoid getting flats. Now, what's not going to be present here that's necessary is going to be flat out. I put flat out on all of them. And if you don't want to buy some expensive tires, which I personally don't think they're super expensive, you can get the Allscape all-terrain tires for about $120 for the pair. And that is for the 20 by 4 inch. Most of my bikes are 20 by 4 inch. So I recommend you spend that money. But if you don't want to spend that money, go and get something a little less expensive, then get a high quality liner for the tires. All right, let's move up. In the front of all my bikes, I either have a bag or a basket. In most cases, it's going to be a bag, specifically this bag. Now, everything I'm going to mention here, it's going to be in the description below. So if you want to pick it up, you'll be able to find it. But a bag. Now, this particular bag I love. There's 3 separate pockets. And here's what I have inside the pockets. Each pocket has a pump. Now, I use this pump because I tested it and it actually works pretty well. You don't need a high-tech pump because if you get a flat, it's going to be an emergency. So most of the time, if you have flat out, it's going to be more of a slow leak. So you're going to be able to pump it up and at least get home to fix the tire. If for whatever reason, the flat out didn't fix the actual puncture, then I have this product. It's called Grubhub. It's like a fix-a-flat. You spray this in there, and it actually inflates the tire and also puts a sealant on the tire. In addition to that, I have a multi-purpose tool in the bag, right? Now, this is Allen wrenches. It has a little screwdriver. So if you have any loose bolts or something happens on the road, at least you have something that will get you back on the road quickly. I also keep extra batteries for my GoPro, but most of you guys, if you're not recording, you don't need it. Lastly, I have what's on here, I have an aftermarket alarm. Really love this aftermarket alarm. It actually beeps if you approach the bike. It beeps again if you actually touch the bike. It gives you a double beep if you touch it. And then if you move it, it sets the alarm off. Now, I keep this in the front. Now, you can hide it if you want, but because I use this on multiple bikes, and I don't use the same bike all the time, then I just keep this here. Now, I keep this at the bottom of the bag, and on top of it, I keep all the tools that I just mentioned. So if somebody sets off the alarm and they hear it and they try to look for it, it's going to take a minute for them to find it. Now, in this bike, well, in other bikes, I mean, I have a chain. In this bike, I don't have it because this bike comes with, and I'll show it to you, comes with its own lock that I really love. If you haven't seen this, it's a pretty cool feature. Is this, and this goes down here, through here, and it locks there. so it prevents it from the tire rotating. Really cool feature that goat bikes provide. Now, I have the mini goat, and unfortunately, they didn't do this for the mini goat. So on the mini goat, I do carry a chain, but while doing deliveries, I'm not super worried with the mini goat. This one, the Juliet, because they're heavy, people. They're heavy bikes. If it's not turned on, you're not going to be able to, or it's going to be very hard for you to pedal away. And hopefully, with that sensor, I'll be able to know that it's somebody's tampering with the bike and I can come out, right? So now let's move back. Mirrors. Mirrors are hugely important on bikes, guys. You have to have mirrors. So that's a component there. My phone charger. All my e-bikes have the USB port to charge the phone, so I have a phone charger. If your bike doesn't have a USB port, then carry a portable battery that you can put it in the bag and have the connector just come out to connect to your phone, right? Moving back are the pedals. These pedals, as I mentioned, are strobe pedals, right? Very important for visibility. Now, here is the helmet. You have to have a high quality helmet. On my helmet, I have a light that I usually keep in flashing. Again, I personally don't think you can have enough lights. The more, the merrier. So lights, right? Now, there's a new helmet that I ordered that's coming in that is a smart helmet. It has the light in the front, light in the back, and because it's a smart helmet, I'm going to be able to connect it to the bike. So when I turn on the turn signals, it'll also flash on the helmet. Now, having said turn signals, I forgot to mention in the front, this bike has front and back turn signals. On the bikes, like my Juliet, that doesn't come with turn signals, I added aftermarket turn signals. I think that's another safety issue that you should all have and put on your bikes. Now, moving back for the carrying capacity of a bike, I have this basket. Again, the description or the information on all this equipment will be in the description below. But all my bikes have this basket. I really love this basket. It's universal. So for example, if I were to buy this basket from GOAT, I believe the price for this basket is $230 or something like that. But you can buy this on Amazon for $36. And as you can see, the brackets that comes with it, you can put it on any bike rack and it'll fit. It'll be, you can use it, right? In addition, going back, and I'll use this one now real quick. I always add an extra strobe light. Now this acts as a brake light or a strobe light. I don't know if you noticed that it actually stopped because it assumed, there it is. It assumes I stopped, right? So it's like a brake light. I usually put this in the bag just for extra visibility. In addition, I have my backpack, right? Oh, forgot, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. In addition, I have, on the rack, I put my cooler, right? Or my insulated bag. Inside my insulated bag, I have a cup holder, because most of the time, the cup holders that you get from the restaurants suck. Now, if you go to Starbucks down here, or you go to Dunkin' Donuts, they put it in a bag, so you can't use this. But at some restaurants in which they're going to give you the drink, I put the drink in here, so it's a little bit more secure. I put the bag there, and then if I need extra storage space, this bag will come out. I put this on my back. I can use the rack. And for example, one of the biggest examples that I use for this is when I do a grocery or a shop offer. I usually, if it's a bigger order, I put as much as I can in the backpack. The backpack goes on my back. The rest goes inside the basket. And then I have this cargo net that goes on top of that. Now, in my Juliet, if you saw my Juliet, I also added saddlebags to the side because my Juliet, the saddlebags won't bother me or it's not an encumbrance when I'm riding. This bike being so tall, if I add saddlebags, it'll make it too wide. So I don't add saddlebags to this particular bike. But anyway, that's the setup for there. In the back, like I mentioned, I put that light. And we have the light at the bottom that comes with the bike, plus the turn signals. Now let's talk about the gear that you're wearing. I already talked about the helmet. The other thing that I recommend everyone should have when they ride are gloves. Now I wear the fingerless gloves, but you don't have to. I wear gloves. They're padded gloves. They're for safety, also to make it comfortable while you're riding. What you're wearing, you should wear a reflective or a bright color shirt. I love this company. I'm going to put this company in the description down below for the company that makes this shirt. I have them in bright yellow, orange. If you watch my channel, you've seen those shirts. Green, this blue. They do have the reflective gear. It is also UV resistant, so it helps out if you're in a hot climate area. And it keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Safety glasses, I highly recommend you wear safety glasses. Now, I wear, this has a very slight tint that helps me out during the day. I only dash during the day, but helps me out during the day, but you should wear safety glasses. Oh, the last thing is footwear. It's very important if you're on an e-bike that your footwear has some kind of footing that'll stabilize you. I tried a pair of shoes that when I was coming up to a light was slipping every time I put my foot down. You don't want that. You want when you put your foot down that your foot sticks to the ground. Anyway, my beautiful people, that is the setup for the bike setup and the gear that I recommend you have. For people, that is the setup and some of the gear that I recommend you have. All that information is going to be down in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And don't forget, ride, hustle, repeat. Love you guys.